Hey guys, and this video is about what's in my first aid kit for backpacking. And so I've kind of hesitated doing this video for a couple of reasons, but one of them is that first aid kits, if you make them yourself, they're kind of personal, they depend on your level of skill, but I just kind of wanted to show you what was in mine. I consider it to be an ultralight basic bare minimum kit that you should take out there, but people might have less than me. But this is about 5 ounces, and let's go take a look and see what's inside. Okay, let's have a look and see what we have in here. So first of all, of course, typical Band-Aids. I just came back from a trip. This is exactly how much I'll carry for, let's say, a 3-day, 2-night trip. And this is just for me. 2 smaller Band-Aids, 2 larger Band-Aids, and this entire kit is 5.4 ounces total, and that includes a Ziplock bag. So we have Band-Aids. We have 2 doses, if you will, of burn cream. Burn cream is one of those things that I'd say within the last year started carrying. Someone commented on a previous video of mine and suggested that I do get it, and it makes sense. Statistically, for me at least, this is probably one of the injuries you're most likely to get, is burning yourself on a stove or a campfire or a hot pot. So that is in there now. I just have 2 doses of it, I guess. In terms of repair, and I know this is where I could definitely lighten up if I wanted to, I do carry tenacious tape and duct tape for overall repairs. I like the tenacious tape, but for some reason I just trust duct tape more, and so that's why I go ahead and I carry both. The compass, of course, is always in there, just so I know where it is. If it's something where a trail or area I'm not super familiar with, this comes out and stays out, so it may not be in the first aid kit, but that way I know where it's supposed to be. Neosporin, of course, is always a good idea, just for antibiotic cream as well as pain relief. And so this, I've actually used this a couple times already on the trail. You can see how much exactly is left, but I try not to carry a full tube just because you're carrying stuff you're most likely not to use. Pair of tweezers. You may not have this just because it does add a more significant amount of weight for you, but I find it annoying if, like, let's say if I ever get a splinter or something like that. Sometimes it's hard to get out, and it just bugs me, or it will bug me all day, and so tweezers are just something I just bring along. Floss, not just for preventing gingivitis and plaque, but this is also in case of repair. You can technically, floss is pretty strong, and you can use this as a makeshift thread, if you will. That's the general idea behind my bringing it. And so it doesn't weigh a whole lot, and it pairs nicely with this guy right here. I stick this to the inside of one of my blister care, and it's not a pin for popping blisters. It's more of a needle, and you can see that eye right there, a needle for in case I do need to sew something together, be it, God forbid, a person, myself, but more for gear in case a strap breaks or I have to be able to thread something. I'll at least have the ability to try. So that's why that's stuck on there, and that's stuck on these thing called Rem Wraps. Basically, it's 3M tape stickers, and these are actually ones that are used to kind of go on like gun stocks and stuff like that, but it's 3M medical tape, and it just comes in these neat little squares. So Rem Wraps, I'll try to include a link in the description, and I usually carry a couple of these to cover up any hot spots on my feet, and I haven't had one of those in a long time, but I usually just carry 4 sheets of it. And hot spots, blister prevention, that's where that kind of comes into play for me. I've been pretty fortunate. You actually will not see a whole lot of blister care in this first aid kit, and that's because I usually don't get blisters. And instead of gauze, and you guys are going to laugh, but these are, anyone who has kids will know, these are nursing pads. And I actually use this kind of just absorb material in my first aid kit. If I would ever need that, I could kind of put use it as a large bandage, as well as these make great fire starters. And so I just tossed 2 of these in there, and you guys are the first ones to see it, so make fun of me in the comments. And then, of course, alcohol wipes, along with some glue dots in there for repairing my Neo Air X-Therm if it needs it, as well as something I wanted to keep separate from the other meds, and you'll see this. These are just anti-diarrheal pills, and so I always make sure I have this. I have had to use these, I think, once. And something to consider is you see no instructions for this because I know what these are. And so I know that the green is the anti-diarrheal pills, and you're not supposed to exceed, more than 4 in 24 hours. So those are things that I keep in mind. And so for you, if you need to include instructions in with your pills, be sure to do that. Also, I have Nyquil. Yep, kind of like a nighttime medication. I just kind of keep in there if I need additional help sleeping, or if I start to get sick on the trail, I'll at least have one dose. Oops. And then also I have, so this one was more for sleeping, so you see the nighttime, and these are the daytime pills. And you have 3 doses of those just to kind of, if I need to get off trail, at least this will help me get there and feel a little better on the way out. Those are kind of Nyquil pills. And then you see this, I know people who are pharmacists are probably screaming, don't do that to the pills, but sorry. So here, because I know what they are. And so the white is acetaminophen, and you guys recognize ibuprofen right away. And the pink, of course, is the Benadryl. And so I make sure I have these at all times. And you notice that I'm keeping them separate from the anti-diarrheal pills just because I'm afraid of it, this dust or whatever getting on these other pills. Maybe that's a paranoia thing, but I want to make sure that at least those are separate. I carry both ibuprofen and acetaminophen in case I need to, let's say if I get a really bad fever or something, I can kind of alternate more frequently between those two and try to bring that fever down until I can get off trail. So that's the general idea. I usually bring the ibuprofen for emergency pain management. I don't need to take ibuprofen regularly while I'm hiking. I'm pretty young, so I don't have to deal with a whole lot of the aches and pains right now. I just have it just in case. And of course, for altitude, I'll bring a separate stash of ibuprofen to help deal with that. And then last but not least, the Ziplock bag. So that's kind of my overall mess of a first aid kit. Hopefully this helped someone with some ideas about what to include in their first kit, or perhaps they're thinking about what to cut down. In the comments below, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on this. Let me know what you think I'm missing from my first aid kit and what I should definitely put in there or consider putting in there, because I'm always willing to refine my kit and try to figure out what I need to learn and what more I can do to improve what's in this kit. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace.